I have just got to the Wilson factory, which is in Irvine, and I'm about to go and get fitted for my brand new irons. I'm in the custom fit bay here at the factory in Irvine, and I'm just waiting for Duncan to get here, who is the guy that's doing my fitting, and he's also the guy who takes care of all the European Tour Wilson players. So it's a pretty cool experience. Duncan fitted me for my D7s about 2 years ago, and he knows exactly what he's talking about. I'm going to try the CBs, I'm going to try the D7 forwards, and then also the equivalent of what I have right now, which is the D9s, and I'm looking forward to seeing what I walk out the factory with. Of course, I'm going to show you guys behind the scenes of what the factory is like and exactly what it's like to be fitted like a tour player.
What we'll do is hit a couple of shots of your 7 iron, see what your numbers are, see if you've changed much from when we fitted, pretty much getting on 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then we'll start testing out some of the other heads in the combination of shaft and length that you've already got.
Yeah.
And then we'll just start to then go into a fitting after that with the head that we decide is the route we're going to stick with.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. So we've just hit a few of my D7s and they were going 145, and I'll hand over to Duncan to tell you about swing speed and all the rest and what else we're looking at.
So you've got a little bit quicker obviously as you've warmed up. Club head speed around about 73, ball speed's got a little bit quicker from the first 2 or 3. We're now running around about 104. Spin's pretty good. Efficiency's good, so you know we found that originally obviously when we fitted the D7 that you were getting a lot more than your previous irons. And then, you know, if we're looking at sort of like land angle as a quite an important aspect for, you know, pitching on the green, you know, it's not always about the distance all the time. We're trying to make sure we're also getting the right ball flight. So, good starting point. Not changed actually too much since we originally did the D7 fitting, which was quite good. I had a look at the numbers from before, and yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing that I've not changed in about 2 years. You would think that my swing speed might have went up, but we'll blame COVID, since we blame COVID for everything. But yeah, not a bad start. He's good, isn't he? He knows his stuff. So we're going to move on to what we're going to try first.
We're going to start off with the CB, just because obviously that's our new forged iron. Yeah. And then we'll try D7 forged, and then we'll try D9. And we'll be able to see obviously the difference in distance, and hopefully, you know, if you hit it a little bit off centre, we're going to notice that a little bit more from the CBs than the D9. So yeah, we'll give them a go in your shaft that you've currently got, and then we'll go into finding the right shaft in the head that we pick. Okay.
I guess let's get testing.
CB is the same shaft that you've currently got and same length. See what you think. Feel wise.
Same shaft.
Same shaft, yeah.
The head looks tiny in comparison. I mean, it doesn't feel awful, but it definitely doesn't feel as if I've got as much versatility with it. Yeah. Like even just here, like I can feel it. Like, I don't know how much I'll be able to.
Yeah, I mean this iron's recently come out to replace our FG Tour V6, which we've had for quite a few years. Yeah. We've won some PGA Tour events, European Tour events with that iron. Really popular with our tour guys, so not a huge amount to improve on.
Yeah, like it's a really nice looking iron.
Yeah. So the interesting thing in comparison to your current irons, that's averaging about 131.
Wow.
7 iron, whereas we're at 141 with yours. So lost 10 yards. It's a weaker loft on it, and obviously the face isn't progressing with speed because there's no power holes like the D7. very much a forged iron.
CB's, really nice club, but not the one. So moving on to the D7 forged.
A little bit thin.
Yep, fat, thin. I don't know, I just feel, I'm not sure. That was a better one. But I do feel as if I'm having to go after it.
Yeah.
A little bit. It just doesn't feel, it's just a bit inconsistent.
All over the place.
Tell me what you really feel. A little bit too inconsistent. I couldn't really get this one going at all. So D7 forged, not the one. Moving on to D9?
D9.
D9.
Strike.
Yeah.
Longest one so far.
How far?
146 on that one.
146.
Fairly straight.
Carry.
Carry, yeah. That's better. 154.
154.
Yeah. 107 ball speed.
Swing speed.
75.
Okay.
A little bit more comfortable.
Yeah. Definitely all these feel way more consistent.
Yeah. Good. So if we were looking at those, tight dispersion, the average carries up to 149. So it's about 8 yards further than yours.
Wow.
And we've got a ball speed that is jumped up by 4 miles an hour on average. 3.5, 4. So pretty good. You're not actually swinging it really any faster, just about half a mile an hour.
Yeah.
So obviously feels comfortable.
Yeah.
Distance is good. Dispersion's really good. Like, no, I don't know if you can see there, but dispersion is pretty tight as well in the green.
Yeah, night and day difference.
So that's good. Definitely. So let's go through like looking at length, make sure we're still good. I don't think we'll have too much changes to make there. We'll just double check in your lie because obviously we made some changes there before, and then we're going to look at some grips as well.
So we've just tested some shafts and we've just tested the loft and lie. So I'm going to hand over to the man who knows what he's talking about, not me, and he'll tell you exactly what I'm going for and what we saw with the numbers.
We had the KBS Tour 105 reg and standard length in your D7s, still working fine. So feel wise, you're happy with that. Numbers are still good, so we're going to stick with that. So it's not humour or change. It was actually the best shaft out of all the ones we tried anyway. And then just changed the lie angle a little bit, so just gone a little bit flatter than the standard head, just like your D7s. So again, you haven't changed there. So yeah, 2 degrees flat, standard length, KBS Tour 105 in the D9 head, and I think we'll look at sort of maybe a makeup where we go down to sort of 5 to gap wedge in those.
That's my fitting done. I'm going with the D9s and I'm going to take you guys into the factory and show you a little bit of behind the scenes there. One of the questions I get asked quite a lot is custom fit worth it? And 100% it's worth it. You're going to get irons that are made for you, a driver that's made for you, a 3-wood that's made for you. And I obviously got fitted 2 years ago and I've just been fitted today and I'm hitting it 8 to 7 yards further with my new irons, and it's more accurate. My dispersion rate was much tighter. So for me, it makes complete sense to get custom fit. So if you are considering doing it, I 100% advise it. You learn so much from a custom fit as well, about your swing and about where you can benefit from your game. So if you are thinking about it, definitely do it. So the really cool thing about the custom fit bay here at the factory is you can see right into the factory, and I have just seen Duncan walk past with what I think might be my new irons. Now, this is something that Wilson don't do very often, but because I was here and Duncan's here and the fitting went really quickly, they have built my irons for me. And Duncan, give me. Here we go. I've got my brand new set of D9 irons. They're going straight into my bag. I'm gonna have to go to the range, figure out how far I'm hitting it now that I'm hitting it way further with my new irons, but I'm super excited to get on the golf course, see how these clubs perform. But thank you so much to Wilson for having me. It's been such a fun morning at the factory, and thank you so much, especially to Duncan, who fitted me for my irons. Please give him a follow and make sure you follow Wilson on social media too. Thanks for watching.